Hello everyone, Circus Theory is with you, and first of all, Gummy Goo is alive. Kane did not incinerate him, but only teleported him back to the so-called developer's room, where during the episode he and Pomni got into by going through the glitch for textures. At the moment of moving, she can be seen in the silhouette of Gummy Goo. There you can see the blue checkerboard floor and part of the model of one of the crocodiles. Apparently, Kane just returned it to its original state of an immobilized model. Even if Nibbler had deleted it, there was another Gummy Goo in the developer's room, which, like the syrup van, could safely be reused, as Ragatha hints at. Before the release of the second episode, the Gleech studio itself posted hitherto unseen footage of the adventures of the main characters in the Candy Kingdom, accompanied by Gummy Goo. However, these images may well be non-canonical, just randomly made renderers to confuse us. After all, the next series, in theory, should be McDonald's Manipulators and Haunted Houses. The creator of the animated series has officially confirmed that in the future, she has something in store for Gummy Goo fans, which means that we will probably see it again in one form or another. Another question is whether he remains the same crocodile as Pomni remembered him. There are three options. Either all his memories have been reset to their original state, and he will simply start acting according to a given scenario, or he remembers everything and will believe that Pomni mocked him, or even more likely, he will simply flash against the background as an immobilized model among a bunch of the same NPCs created to be defeated and forgotten. All three options sound pretty creepy, but alas. After the first day at the Pomni Circus, she felt terrible. Nervous laughter, nightmares, awareness of loneliness and hopelessness, clear signs of psychological trauma as a result of what happened to her. Although Kane is only an artificial intelligence, and it is difficult for him to understand human emotions, I think even he was aware that such symptoms were slowly moving Pomni towards dispersion, a natural outcome as a result of complete loss of reason, and according to Ragatha, the only way to keep it is to participate in adventures. And now it is worth noting the fact that every time Pomni shows symptoms of a personality disorder, Kane dumps, realizing that by his presence he can aggravate the situation, and the girl at this moment is better to communicate with other people. Remember how he said he was going to get some water? But Kane is an artificial intelligence, even people don't need to eat in the game. So it was a pure excuse. Moreover, when Pomni once again tried to find meaning in what was happening, Kane threw the players into the portal to distract the girl from thoughts harmful to her mind. He was in no hurry after the players left, just stood there with a pipe in his mouth, which means he acted for the benefit of the newcomer, and Kane approached this quest with special diligence, by developing a new artificial intelligence that mimics human behavior. However, this artificial intimacy does not manifest itself in everyone. NPC Fudge and Candy Queen follow a set script for the most part, as does Queen Gloina in the pilot episode. Max was hitting the rocks until Gummy Goo told him to climb up the rope, and the chat couldn't even change gear because of the long arms. Even though they were such initially, this speaks at a low level of their artificial intelligence, which means it is very logical to assume that the brand new artificial intelligence was not tested on all characters, but exclusively on Gummy Goo. He had a human motivation that was not inherent in other NPCs, a semblance of human feelings, and an artificial ability to realize oneself as an NPC if, instead of a crocodile behind the textures along with Pomni, it turned out to be, for example, Fudge. He would have behaved just like Gummy Goo. It is more logical to assume that he would just try to eat all the sweet models. After all, even when Jax tried to inspire him with his ideas, Fudge continued to act solely within the framework of his role. Gummy Goo is not just able to recreate the stimulation of certain feelings and emotions. No, his problems are identical to those of Pomni. In Gummy Goo, she saw herself as if he was created for her, even though Kane is not able to control people's minds. However, this does not mean that he is unable to see its contents. After all, their minds are loaded in the form of a digital code. It is worth remembering that, having built the exit location, Zubastic managed to accurately recreate a computer from real life, through which the main characters entered the game an amazing digital circus, as if he had copied it exactly from the memories of the players themselves. If so, then he could easily have used Pomni's memories, feelings, and experiences during the creation of Gummy Goo. artificially creating a crocodile soulmate for her who could understand and morally support her. It's not for nothing that the NPC calls him the local god. That's why Kane was afraid to leave Gummigoo in the circus. There are a lot of NPCs like Mannequins, Moon, Sun, and Bubble here. But it was Gummigoo who was afraid to leave. After all, he is in fact a copy of one of the players, which could really lead to confusion in the eyes of Kane, who already does not understand people. It is unlikely that the toothpick planned to get behind the textures. After all, he does not like to demonstrate projects before completing work on them. And here the kettles from Utah are scattered, and the developer's room is quite raw for a thoughtful location. I think Kane was just counting on Pomni and Gummigoo to be able to communicate to help her avoid scattering, and his idea worked. In the end, the girl really felt better, but in fact, Kane uses data from the players' minds to help them, although not always successfully. Each of the players, having got here, worries in their own way Ragatha was like Pomni, and therefore tries in every possible way to cheer her up. Jax is still extremely childish, trying to have fun without dwelling on problems, and in sad moments just leaves, afraid to show the soft side to others because of such a difficult past. Inside, he suffers no less than the others, but hiding his feelings behind the mask of a bad guy. Gangle adored anime during her lifetime and continues to draw anime articles and more in the circus to calm down. Most likely, she just made a Ragatha toy that can be dressed and undressed like anime action figures, and now Jax is blackmailing her. Jax is the strangest character. Jack makes a deal with this monster. He opens the doors to the castle for him, and the fudge helps him complete the quest, and the deal is done. The monster entered the kingdom and began to eat all its inhabitants. It's a creepy ending to this story, of course, and I don't quite understand how the princess banished him. Maybe Fudge considered her his friend, got offended, and left himself. Otherwise, how can I explain these insulting statements about the princess that the damned Lullylau banished me, or something like that? Because there is no one to protect this kingdom except Fudge, and this creature in itself is invulnerable, immortal, which was clearly demonstrated, which makes it even scarier, and in fact, it is an invincible monster. It's scary to imagine if there really was some kind of final battle with him, as Jax wanted. Jax can easily turn out to be an ordinary NPC embedded in the plot in this way, to mess with everyone. Think about it. It's very convenient for Kane. There is also a theory that all characters except Pomni are NPCs. Then you might think that the whole amazing digital circus was built just for her. That would be very cool. And what do you think it all means? Write a comment and like this video.